Hello and welcome to Aberdeen, Scotland for the World Junior Curling Championships 2018. We've seen a lot of great curling in the oil capital of Europe, named the Granite City. It all comes down to this gold medal game Saturday. The tune is awfully quiet this morning, but the roars will come from within Curl Aberdeen ice rink. Canada will play Sweden in the final of the women's competition. My name is Sander Ulvåg and I'm joined by Rona Howie. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Teams are just getting ready. Final preparations being made. The teams have had their practice and we'll meet the teams for Canada. At lead, Lindsay Burgess. At second, cousin Carly Burgess. By skip and third stones, we have Christine Clark. And Team Canada is skipped by Caitlin Jones.
And for Team Sweden at lead, Fanny Sjöberg. Second, Almida Deval. At third, Jenny Wallen. And the skip, Isabella Rana.
Let's take a look at how the teams got there. These are the round robin standings. Sweden undefeated, 9 wins. Canada follows at 7 and 2. But look at China and Norway, two of the teams that qualified through the B World Junior Championships to qualify to get here early January. They're in the playoffs, quite impressive. They'll play the bronze game. We'll try and keep you up to date on what happens there as well, just next to our sheet. But our main focus will be on Sweden and Canada. Sweden being the highest ranked team coming into this game. Didn't have the choice to have last on advantage. They've taken that. And they'll play the yellow stones. Canada throws the red stones. That makes it easy for us and the fans at home. And the very first stone of this gold medal game will be thrown by Lindsay Burgess.
Top eight! Top eight! Split. Wing's pretty close. Split.
It is reigning world champions Sweden taking on
14-2.
a Canadian team. We're half are world champions themselves from 2 years back. We have 6 World Junior champions on the ice and 1 Olympic champion even. Fanny Sjöberg will look to play the hit, so we're having this slight cautious start to the first end. Is that something we're expecting to see maybe in this first end, Rona?
I think with Canada putting theirs on the forefoot, Sweden just want to remove it. Don't want to do anything too clever at the first end, although the ice has been really good, really consistent all week. So players not frightened to take the game on, but it's always the same in a World Junior final. The nerves will be out there. It's good to settle them in at the first end. And Sweden go for their 2 at the second even end.
Lindsay Burgess will check to the wing. Coming perhaps slightly outside the most plain paths in practice. You could see the pebble be a bit fresh down here. Will have some bite, as you might call it. Might curl a bit on you, but that runs very nicely for Fanny, and Sweden knows it. And here is Carly Burgess, Youth Olympic champion from 2016. Played with 2 of the members of the Canadian men's team that are representing Canada this week and will play in the gold medal game later today.
Just super straight. I got 10.
So quite the pedigree for the teams.
10 skulle jag ändå säga. 10? Ja, 10-15.
We're not surprised to see them in the final.
Definitely not, and going to see a really good final. 2 very experienced, strong teams.
Bra fart. 10.
Almeida Deval will throw the second stones for Sweden. She'll have a chance to find her draw weight here.
Ganska mycket. Gå.
Looking to draw
Jenny.
to that opposite wing.
8. Ja.
Chance for the sweepers too
8, 4.
to have a feel
14-0 på den.
for the weight. Perfect draw by Almeida Deval. Not the most important shot, but it's nice to make one early in the first end.
Close. Speed, yep. Yep. Right to it. Hard, right to it, right to it. Okay, good, good. 10-4. Oops, second, yeah. Vänta lite. Lite plus. Kom igen. Ja! Hårt i det. Härligt. Härligt. Bra.
Just trading shots here. Canada and Sweden.
We can hold it here.
No mistakes so far.
Bra.
Here's Christian Clark. Played third for the Canadian team. One goal 2 years back. That
Whoa.
time the team was skipped by Mary Fay.
Whoa. Let it come out.
And she was also the skip when Canada won the Youth Olympic Games in 2016 with Carly Burgess at second. Retired from the game, Christian Clark took over the team for a season last year. Didn't qualify for the Worlds,
10-4.
but brought on Caitlin Jones as skip and picked up Lindsay Burgess at lead. And they won the Canadian Junior Championship. It's a long way for Canadian teams to get to the big stage. And when they finally get there, there's a bit of pressure on them, even for the juniors. That's Jenny Volin, and this is the Olympic champion we were talking about. I'm quite positive we've never seen an Olympic champion play in the juniors before, being an alternate for Team Sweden, skipped by Anna Hasselborg and Gangnung, just outside Pyeongchang, just a couple of weeks back.
Hard to stick, hard to
That
stick.
would be some feat to have 2 gold medals within the month.
10-2. Nolla. Sa du etta?
And she's also the alternate player for Team Hasselberg at the World Women's Championships coming up in North Bay next weekend. So she's certainly got a heavy month of curling.
I don't think she'll mind.
I don't think so.
That's where all those hours in the gym will help out. These long weeks of curling. This one just slightly over curling. But removes that Canadian counter, or not counter, but that stone on the wing. Not much in play. We're expecting to see the blank end here by Sweden to retain the last stone advantage.
Let's go. Nice to meet you, Kate.
But with Jenny Volin rolling out, it leaves Caitlin Jones a good chance to find her draw weight here in the first end. We saw Canada in practice had Caitlin Jones throw a couple of draws to the forefoot, just so she knows what to do. This one will be there on its own, back of the 8 foot. We'll see the teams will have to play 8 ends minimum, although the game is scheduled for 10, and we hope to at least get 10 ends here in the final. The teams do have 38 minutes of thinking time and 1 60-second timeout. Can't remember seeing any team struggle too much for time this week. They've certainly been good at controlling their time clocks. And with a blank first end here, the teams will bank some clock. and have some extra time to think, maybe for those last couple of ends, as we have our first look at skip for Sweden, Isabella Verano. We'll make that hit and stick.
Kind of weight? 10.5. Just a nose, a little flop.
Jag har inget annat vilka lite åt Men jag såg att
So Amida Deval, she goes into the head for Sweden, although she plays second stones. Reasoning for that would be, why would they do that?
Well, they have two pretty strong sweepers in Fanny Sjöberg and Jenny Wåhlin. The Power Girls, the two of them have medalled at the junior championship in Sweden for bench pressing.
So they definitely seem like a good pair to have as your front end sweepers, or sweepers for your skip stones anyway.
It's good. 9.6.
oh, wow.
Yeah, two very strong sweepers will make a lot of shots for their skip. If you can carry that stone just an inch more than your opponent, or make it curl an inch less to get past that guard time and time again, that will certainly win you games. As we see the last one coming down the sheet here, it is the hit and run out to blank the first end here. No problems, no score.
We're not yellow. We're red. We're red. Right, sorry. Same thing. Same thing. That was good. I like keeping our heads down. Let's make it top 4. Let's go. Line's good. Top 4. Definitely more than. Easy. Top 4. Easy. T-line. Top 4. Back 4.
Sweden
Really
keeps
close with anything.
the last one advantage.
Can't.
Canada goes first again.
I have 13.9.
Will come into the house. We'll see if Sweden now
Just less ice. Good. Good.
puts their foot to the pedal to get something going. Indeed, they will throw the corner guard here. So what's the tactic behind the call?
Sweden have got last stone here. They want to try and generate a 2, and get the lead in the game and take advantage of having the hammer by being #1 ranked team after the round robin.
Bra linje! Jenny kan gå. Nej.
And also the Canadian stones just slip back to you,
Ja, räcker.
so it's always freezable for Sweden. Plays that nicely. And with the corner guard up, it's always a key shot for the lead second stone here to get this in the right place.
2. Lots of line. 2. Lots of line. It's gonna be high. 2, 3. Okay, line's good. Line's good. Yep. Line's good. Yep.
They want this short, but not too short. And Sweden would just come round it.
15-2. Or sorry, 15-8. What? 15-8.
Does overcurl slightly. Leaves a good guard for Canada. We'll see Sweden try and come after the shot stone. Maybe even try and tap it all the way through the house. Try and leave the shooter. Open up that scoring area.
good shot to roll out a wee bit to the wing. Keep the play away from the 4 foot round that centre guard because Sweden want it as open as possible and play out to the wings.
10-2, Hera. Whoa, whoa. Close, yep. Yes. Yep. Really gotta go. Hard. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Okay.
Put that one on the nose.
10-2.
Sweden will choose to ignore that one and just come round their corner now. Try and get one in behind cover.
Ni tror inte lättare? Nej.
Nej, jag tror inte. Nej. Det är bara vanligt.
Lite tajt!
Bra fart! Bra fart! Tid!
Fanny!
Nästan lite lång! Bakåt!
Wow!
Helst inte! Bakåt! Helst bara sitta! Bara sitta!
Sweeper's happy with the weight, but they want this to curl and bend behind the corner guard.
Nästan
Coming nicely.
Bakåt, va?
Nej, nej, gå inte.
Gonna stop. Just hangs in the back ring.
Men det var ju för lite. Ja, precis. Det var bra.
Coach for Sweden, Margareta Sigfridsson,
Okej, det där med det.
a familiar face to any curling fan. Runner-up at the Olympic Games in Sochi 2014. She's played a World Junior Curling Championship herself. Won silver in '97 in Karuizawa, Japan. Lost to Scotland in the final.
Curling a lot. Back four. Kristen, if anything.
Yeah, huge experience to have on the coach's bench for Team Sweden.
Lots of line. You're not even in the backing.
So this one's looking a bit heavy. Canada don't want to set up a double here.
13.
Virtually tapped her own. She has tapped it through the house.
Here we see Andrew Atherton,
Okej, gilla den.
coach for Team Canada from Lunenburg, Nova Scotia.
4-3.
Trea.
Followed the team 2 years ago. And they picked up gold. They have a new skip, new lead, and they're in the final again.
Nej! Aldrig!
Lite plus, 3.
Aldrig!
Lite upp.
Sweden would really like to get ahead and roll in here.
Knappt träff.
Lite upp. Tappa lite nu. Kom igen då.
Hit and roll out.
Här är synd.
Okej.
A couple of errors from both sides here.
We can just go here. What do you guys
Canada
like
still
this?
have this centre guard that they can come around.
Do you guys like? I like the round. Okay. Do you like this? Okay. Do you like that or she's coming right around. Or this. That's not. If we make this good, they have to run it. Then we can. So let's go. Let's make it good. 14. Yeah.
Coming around the centre guard. Is it a conscious decision to play this on the outturn rather than the other way?
So if the stone doesn't completely bury coming round here, then Sweden would be hitting it and going into the open, whereas if they come around the other side and show Sweden some of it, it gives them the opportunity to hit and roll behind their corner.
We're a bit back. We're back.
So they want to keep it on this
Gotta go,
side.
Carly. Don't want to. It has to be at least edge on edge.
This one's coming
Hard
back.
finish.
Oh,
Yep, yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa! That's good. 14-2.
14.2 seconds. We can hear
Spela henne.
the ice is running pretty quick, like it has been all week.
Jag kan spela så.
Yep.
And players like quick ice. You can do a lot with the sweeping.
Helt okej att vicka gard med den här.
The ice is quick. You can carry the stones farther. You can make more shots.
and it's nice for sweepers to feel that they're actually making a difference to the shots. And it's nice,
Yeah,
nice.
Whoa!
Sweden just having to remove this centre guard now.
Whoa! Whoa! Härligt!
Wanted to keep the shooter as a guard. Has done that. Makes it very tough to come after that Yellowstone if Canada ever wanted to. Just a tiny bonus for Sweden.
Yeah, because when Canada came back to you there, you think, well, why didn't Sweden just draw around the guard and freeze that?
Backy!
But then Canada could have frozen them, and that would have killed the chance of a 2 at this end.
Backy! Yeah! Yeah!
Sweden keeping their hopes alive of building up a 2.
Hard! Hey, line's good, line's good, line's good! Right to the back. To here is good. Right to it, right to it! Yep. Hard, right to it, right to it! Right to it, yep! Hard!
It's a great shot there from Canada.
Riktigt så. Linjen är ganska viktig här. Man vill ju helst ha den lite längre upp. Om den har dålig linje, då vill vi ha den väldigt högt upp.
Ja, jag tror 20.
Jag tror också 20.
We'll get the raw clock up here. 14-2 to the back 4, coming into the center line. We'll see if the ice is just as quick.
Inte så mycket Ed.
Coming from the center line and then coming out to the wing. If so, 14.5 should be pretty close.
Helst sitta. Topp 4.
14-6.
Titta upp. Topp 8. Topp 4. Lite långt.
Just wanting this to stop. Top 4. That is a good draw by Jenny Wåhlin, 14-6. Pretty much untouched to nibble that tee line. The ice is running very nice today. Wanting that to stop high in the house, so it'll be tougher for Canada to freeze onto and get shot stone.
Freeze it.
Let's go, Kate.
If they freeze this now on the nose, they won't outcount the yellow, so we're going to have to freeze this on a slight angle.
Let's go.
Yeah, and if they can just sit on that right-hand side, it will make it very difficult for Sweden to get a 2 here.
Well then. To it. Well, T. Only if you have to. Only if you have to. Gotta go now. Yep. Hard.
They left this for too long. Waits there. Just all about the line here. We'll get a bit of a bounce, but that's a good line. Very tough to remove that red. They'll see a piece, but would always jam on those back stones if you come after it. As well communicated, when that stone was a bit heavy, it's so important for the sweepers to let the vice grip know, for Christine Clark to then calculate if sweeping was necessary. Canada does sit 2.
Vi fryser den. $15-20 tror jag. Bak 4. Var lite försiktig i början så vi inte soppar för bort den.
Seems to be
Okej, gå då.
just freezing the back Redstone here in the back 4 foot.
Bra linje. Vänta lite. Vänta.
Ligger bra.
Måste curla.
Frys den här bak 4.
Måste curla.
Har plats.
Måste curla.
Curla lite.
Just leaving this be.
Bra linje. Bra linje.
We'll tap it just a wee bit.
Sorry.
The good part for Sweden is they've just played that draw. They might have to play it again, and they'll know exactly what to do.
Yeah, I think straight pick.
So are we? Okay, you're just picking it off the top and rolling. Well, I guess you're rolling into 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
It doesn't
so you
matter.
want to call it to roll into 6.
I think. Do you think we throw peel? I think so.
Whatever you know.
Okay, I think that.
Okay. Like you can.
Yeah, if we straight pick, we're still sitting 2. If we straight pick, we're still sitting 2. So
Yeah, let's go.
Canada want to just pick this out. They don't want to touch the back one.
Even if they make the double, though, take out their own stone here, is there a shot for 2 for Sweden?
No, the double wouldn't be easy. And, you know, if they, even if they nose this. Oh, sweeping it hard.
Does just pick it clean. Leaves that back red. And again, Canada sitting 2, but it will be the same shot for Sweden.
Well played end from Canada there
Måste bite 4.
to force Sweden to their one.
Vad hade jag på 4? Vad hade jag på 4? Okej. Ta lite mindre is. Tack. 15-20.
That would have caught the 5.
Eller helt så.
Came up slightly heavy on the first one, needed the backing. Do you throw against the backing again, or do you take off a few feet of weight here and let the power girls do the rest?
If you've got sweepers that strong, I think you just throw your draw to the forefoot and let the sweepers manage it the whole way down. You don't need to think you've got backing because the forefoot's wide open.
It does have some running on it though, and we'll actually get onto that backing. That was always an option for Sweden. We have our first score in the gold medal game. One for Sweden. Canada will be quite happy to have forced them to the single point. Canada will now have the last one advantage for the third end.
Mindre putt.
Nej, Jenny! Wow! Wow, Jenny!
Ganska bra.
Nära.
Måste kala!
Nära.
Hake. Hake nära.
Gärna bara stanna.
Hake.
Jag bara här.
Lite
Nära.
närmare. Den är lite längre.
Nära.
Lite längre.
Bra.
Vänta. Jag var lite rädd när hon släppte den att den bara skulle kalla över. Det var därför jag körde lite.
Kala inte så mycket.
Vänta, okej.
This time Sweden will start scoring one.
There goes another
We
big
throw the
putt.
first stone here in third. We'll have Lindsay Burgess
Believe you have to.
try and make the
Believe
come
you
around.
have to. Top 40. Mine's good.
Top 4.
Mine's good. Start to go. Carly close. Mine only. Mine's coming. Yep, Carly still go. Yep, hard over.
Right under.
In.
That's a nice top four draw from
14-1.
Lindsay Burgess, born in Williams Lake, British Columbia,
Topp 4.
resides in Truro, Nova Scotia.
20.
Ja.
Lite lång tid.
10.
Vänta.
Känns dutt.
10.
Vänta,
Tid.
kom igen!
Topp 4.
Wow.
10. Bak 4.
Linje.
Bak 8. 12.
Nej, wow.
Whoa.
Bak
Kom
12.
igen!
Whoa.
Wow. Vill du ha center? Ja, okej.
Sorry.
Ja, det är okej.
Det kändes som den där sackade mer än vad ni trodde va?
Ja, det var lite mycket fart på den där.
Okej.
Let's go, Lins.
Catches the guard,
Should be good.
splits it open. Canada will take that.
Mine's good. Wanna go? Mine's
They're quite
good.
pleased to see the centre line open. I'll come around. This yellow stone acts like a corner guard for the Canadians.
Really short. Hey,
The sweeper's calling this
2, 1.
wee short, so I'll just leave it a guard.
Okay.
Femma!
Tvåa.
Femma!
Jaha, 5.
That gives Sweden the opportunity, though, to come round and get it rolling behind cover.
Wow!
Lite dämp.
Bra fart! Aldrig!
Lite dämp. 5. Ganska bra fart ändå.
Jag är med snart. Ja!
Bra fart.
Hårt in! Handen väcker! Hårt! Mera.
Is it buried? Not quite. Good,
Jag kommer bara.
really good effort there.
Jag körde bara, det var lättare så.
Ja, men det är bra.
Okay. I think they're still. Like you can. Let's go.
Now Canada will try and get the roll the other way behind the double corner guard.
10-2. Stay close. Close. Yep. Close. Yep. Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa. No roll. Sit.
And
Sit.
they've overswept it.
Good. What was that? 10-3.
Rolls out into the open.
Good throw.
Dra eller?
That's still good though.
Ja.
Forces Sweden to play out in the wing.
Ja. 2.
And if they can't make that roll back, there's, you know, the whole center line's open and they can come around the corner. I think that's sometimes what young teams don't realize. Rolling a tad too far is a whole lot better than not
Not rolling,
rolling
in.
far enough. Forcing your opponent to come around the outside, not being able to roll back. In this case, leaves it right there. That stone might be useful for Canada almost. To come around the corner. They do choose to hit it though.
That was 10-3.
Yeah, it would be a good chance here for Canada to come around the corner. Even showing half the stone, it could force Sweden to jam.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That yellow could be a backing for Canada.
No.
Just staying all
10-3.
cautious here.
Can't touch it.
Even with the perfect hit and
Chris, if
roll,
anything.
they'll be sitting in behind the tee line.
Hard piece.
This one now rolling out. I think that's a missed opportunity by Canada.
10-3, just very.
Curling is very much a game of well-timed aggression. I thought that was a brilliant chance for them to get something going.
Topp 8.
Ja.
Topp 8.
Ja.
20.
Yeah, because there wasn't really a huge risk coming round the corner guards there. You know, the 4 foot's still open. And it would certainly have made it harder for Sweden.
You guys are timing.
Instead, it's Sweden to get the chance
Okej.
to come around those corners.
Kom igen där. 8. Se kort ut. Kör Conny. 12.
Working this one hard to get past the guard. And
Almira!
want to leave it top tee though.
Den är inte så långt. Kör!
Coming in
Du
now.
måste jobba ner den mer! Gå.
Or we can even nose it.
Jag trodde
Det
det
var
skulle gå längre.
mer rotation.
Well buried in
Jag
there.
tappar fart.
Means Canada have to.
Okej, för det såg hårt ut. Bra coach.
Doesn't seem to go crazy, so. Okay, just 11 here.
Although the long guard, the red guard's quite a long one. So with a down weight, you have got time to curl at the end past the guard.
Hard! Hard! Whoa!
Well, we talk about the
Good.
Power Girls of Sweden, but that is one good sweep by the Canadian front end.
4.
Ja.
The Burgess cousins to bring that past the guard. And the jacket comes off. Really good technique. Getting a lot of pressure on that broom.
Good. 11.
Bra fart. Japp. Wow. Bra fart. 5.
Quite often you'll see the players start off in jackets. It is slightly cold out on the ice. After all, we need it to be frozen. But after a good sweep or two, then that jacket comes off quite quick.
Yeah, you usually see the skips still wearing their jackets for the whole game, but the sweepers get them off pretty quickly. Canada have got a chance here.
Close. Yep.
Head and roll behind the other corner.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah, almost running out of house here, needing to roll to be in the house. The roll is made. Rolls a bit far, but again, I think just hanging on. No, spins back. There we go.
Sorry,
Just enough to force Sweden away from the guards.
Vi ska inte stanna kvar inne.
Ja.
10. Sorry.
That's fine. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Försöka viking, nolla.
Vill vi vika långt eller bara lite?
Gärna bakom våra.
Ja.
Ja! Men ja!
It was shouted no straight away when she played it. Must have thought she was well out, and then all of a sudden it was a mad panic of a sweep.
A little bit more.
We saw Jenny Wåhlin throw a shot down the exact same path in the first, and it overcurled as well. Might just be a swingy spot, or it might just be a little bit hard throwing so wide. You're not really used to coming all the way out to the boards. Maybe just sliding a bit tight.
This is here.
Now gives Canada the opportunity though to get buried behind this cover.
Line's good. Reach close.
You can see from the ice, sometimes it takes a bit of a while to cross that center line. Hangs a bit, but when it goes, it really goes. Crosses that line, it'll start to really swing.
Where are
You see that great finish now coming around the guards. Just wanting this to stop in front of that tee line.
Good judge.
Slips just behind. Allows Sweden to come after it, try and sit on top.
Yeah, it was really nice weight there.
Really curled.
Thought it was just going to dig in. Sweepers were quite happy. Just went back tee.
Känns jättebra.
See how much it's buried? It's virtually coming out the other side.
Lite mer is. 20.
So important here for Sweden to play the dead freeze. Don't want to bounce off it. To give Canada a shot for two.
Lite kort, bra fart. 8.
Taking a bit more haste than Canada here.
Lite lång ändå.
Wonder if
Helst inte ett drag.
Verano's throw runs a bit straighter as well. And again, that center line just waiting for this
Helst sitta bara. Bara sitta.
to get over and start curling.
Kommer vi
Gå Fanny, måste gömma.
Okej.
Måste gömma. Måste gömma mer.
Doesn't quite get there. You could hear Isabella in the hack asking for more ice. I wasn't quite sure about that. She does throw it just slightly more positive than Caitlin Jones. And again,
Nice and smooth.
when you're needing to cross that center line, just takes a little time. It doesn't curl enough for Sweden. Maybe slightly tricked by
She threw an 11 pass.
Canada's line there.
Yeah, because as you say, that side of the centre line, it will hang straight for a wee while, but then once it crosses the line, it really goes. So she probably erred on the correct side, and it would be worse if you caught the guard. But she had just seen Canada's come down there. Her weight was perfect.
Well, makes this shot a little bit tough for Jones, having to throw this pretty much right down the centre line. But trying to anticipate when it's going to make that break. But it is a chance to score two here.
And she's passed.
Past the guard. And we'll come on to that yellow, sit for two and score two. Two great shots by Caitlin Jones. That's what we call a skip stews right there. And even the Canadians have cowbells this morning. It is 2-1 for Canada.
Yeah, but still. I mean, we could have had more room, so maybe
fine.
just more.
What was that?
10-9, so probably more ice if we were going to throw 12, because that would have been on it.
Yeah. Okay. No, I just liked giving that ice for me because I knew I'd throw it.
Yeah, no, that's all good. But if like we're going to throw that.
42 times Canada and Sweden have played in the women's junior competition since its start in 1988. The very, very first game was won by Canada. It was Julie Sutton to beat Annika Löf 12-0. But since then, it's been quite even. 22 wins for Canada, 20 wins for Sweden.
Haken nära! Ser lång ut! Känns bra! Känns bra! Gå jätterakt! Vänta Jenny!
Hake.
Nej!
Hake.
Känns bra!
Certainly two powerhouses of curling nations.
Hake.
Not just in juniors, but ladies and men's as well.
And well, Julie Sutton went on to win gold that year.
Bra Fanny.
And since then, they've won 10 more. 11 gold medals for Canada, 4 for Sweden.
Lots of line again.
Scotland sits in between with their 9.
Lots of line. Lots of line. Lots of line. Lots of line. Really got to
So
finish.
Canada placed their
Really
first
gotta
stone in a
finish.
really good
Really gotta
spot, top
finish.
4.
Hard over. Really hard.
They want to bring this as close as they can to cover that one in the house.
Good, kid.
Pretty good setup from the lead.
Topp 8!
Yes. Topp 8. 20 bra. Marginal lite
20 bra.
kamp här.
Känns lite kort. Bra fart.
Bra linje!
Ganska bra.
Topp
12 lite kort. 12.
Japp.
Linje!
Linje hårt.
Working this really hard. They want to come right in and freeze on top of that red.
Mera.
Hårt in där då!
Past the guard, but has she got the weight?
Hårt! Ja, bra.
Bra koll.
I don't even mind another long guard.
It's a wee bit short, but it's usable.
What were you thinking?
Bra där Fanny.
I was thinking another guard, but
I was thinking a guard, but
like a 1-2, just a little on this side of center, but okay. I think more center line, yeah. Like just a hair across center.
It's less nice than yours.
Yeah. Okay, like you can, just a 2.
can I have an inch less?
Weight's good. Just a 1. Careful. Careful, guys. It needs to move.
Okay, we can wait.
Gotta let it work.
Really gotta finish.
Chris, right here.
Canada are quite happy to pop another guard here.
Go, Chris. Good, Chris.
They've got a good shot in the house on the 4-foot.
Hard over, hard over, hard over, hard over, hard over, hard over, hard over.
Like this?
Keep going. Okay, 18-2.
Yep, and makes that perfectly. It now means Sweden have to chase it. They've got to try and remove 2 guards at once and open things up.
Yeah, I definitely think sometimes you might just be overthinking. Well, let's make the corner freeze, get into the house. You don't necessarily have to. If you have a good shot, just throw the guard. You know your opponent and try and open it up. Let them work for it. Ooh, quite unlucky here. Almida Deval stuffs the centre guards. They're still on that centre line. Takes out their own stone top 12. And a chance for Canada to come around and sit 2.
I was thinking hair, but
Really unlucky.
okay.
Leaves 2 centre guards and removes their own from play. All in a very straight line.
Yeah, you know, an inch from perfect.
It's back. You gotta bring it
That's
back.
very often the case in curling, though. When you miss by an inch, it could be disastrous.
It's back. You have to bring it back.
But if you miss by a foot, sometimes you're okay.
It's by.
So this is looking a wee bit steamy coming in.
Okay.
And just slips back 8-foot.
Samma.
Ja.
Perfekt samma.
So I think you'll just see Sweden trying to clear this again.
What was that?
13-9.
Ja. Hårt! Järnet! Hårt! Järnet!
That's a very good shot.
Great result. Gives them another corner
Sen kan du där.
and opens up the front to that one in the 4 foot.
I couldn't have caught that second guard any thinner,
Just between the
which
curling
means
rock.
just getting the maximum
So like a
amount of roll on the
2.
shooter to open up the center.
Let's go.
But even so,
Pretty
it
quick
leaves it
here.
there.
Okay.
Taking away that out-turn and draw for Sweden. So with a centre guard from Canada, things can start to
Let it work.
clog up
Let
a
it
bit
work.
for the Swedes.
Gotta wait. Have to wait.
Like we're 2-1. Just a 1.
Hey, yep.
Updating you on the bronze medal game between China and Norway. China scored a 2 in the second to see Norway score 2 back in the third. It's tied
Okay.
after 3 ends of play.
Just never had to switch there.
Sweden beat Norway in their semi-final,
Okay, 6 up.
and Canada beat China in theirs.
So there is a gap here for Sweden to come through and just tap that red back that's at the top of the 4 and try and flop in behind the corner guard.
Lite till.
Vänta.
Bra fart.
Nej.
Bra fart.
Nej.
It's looking high at the moment though, waiting for it to
På
curl.
vicken.
Nej, ingen vik.
Med.
Plays that really nicely. Nice controlled weight, giving it time to take the curl at the end.
Kind of weight do you like?
You can see there it's right
11.5.
behind their
I don't
corner
have
guard
any of it, so.
and it lies shot.
Do you like just a straight?
I don't know if we're gonna be able unless we play like backline hack.
So like a 12?
Like
12?
12? Yep. Okay, 12 here.
So backline or not?
12.
Okay, let's go.
Do you like this ice? I do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's easy, Chris. Let's go.
Okay. Let's make it. Yep. Down. Yep. Whoa! Whoa! Stay close.
Canada just wanting to tap this back.
Whoa! Lindsay. Whoa! Yep, go, Lynn. Yep. And roll it that way. Roll it that way. Go, Carly. Go, go, go. Hard out. Hard out.
Really well played. And rolls behind the centre guard.
12-7.
Does go back T, however, so Sweden do have something to freeze on top of now.
Topp 4.
Lock it.
But a great hit and roll to lie to.
Lock it.
Ja.
So tough.
Precis över topplock är bra.
Okej.
15, 20.
Vilken puck?
Lite lång.
Lite lång baksida.
Vadå?
10.
Linjen är bra. Linjen är bra.
Lite långt.
Linja!
Okej, hårt då.
10 baksida.
Side swings a wee bit more at the end. They need the running weight to hold that curl.
Kolla upp lite.
Fortsätt. Baksida.
Wow, wow.
Plays that perfectly.
Sorry.
She would touch the guard.
Okay. Do you think it's... Does it look
Like
like
it's
it's moved to you?
Does it look like the guard moved at all?
The sweeper thinks she just rubbed the guard with her foot, but I don't think it made any difference there.
Okay, we'll just leave it.
Should we just come this way?
As long as
Yeah, I
both
think
teams
so.
agree that
Do you
they're
want to
quite happy with it.
through? Or just... I think... I was going to say, I think straight freeze is probably the call.
What do we think for
Hers,
ice?
yeah, hers finished pretty good.
I think that's
with like
probably
back
good.
four.
Though.
Yeah. Okay, like you can. Right onto it.
Just taking a second look. Just a right
Like
foot
just breathe
there.
right to it.
Touches it, doesn't move it.
Didn't move at all.
Like you can, Kate.
So Canada here will be quite happy, even if they freeze on top of that Swedish stone. Happy to force a 1. But she doesn't need to move it much to actually get shot.
You can see the Swedish stone is overburied, but even with tap weight, Volian's draw there over curled.
Waist close.
You see Caitlin Jones playing 100% so far. Well, they forced Sweden and scored the 2 back. That was a skip's deuce. And now you can see that big break. Trying to hold the line here. And they get to the nose of this yellow stone. Another great shot by Caitlin Jones. You know, she started the week a bit shaky, but she's just been playing better and better for every game. No wonder why they picked her up to skip this team.
It was a great sweep and makes it very difficult now for Sweden to get a 2.
Great throw. Good sweep, guys. 14.
I wonder if she can see enough on the inside to just tap and push the red out to the left there and tap her own yellow back. But I think it's completely buried behind the centre guard. Yeah. Just can't play much weight at that at all. The best she could really do here is probably half check to give her a shot with her next one.
We're talking about even just leaving this top 8. Just wanting something there to potentially use. Also to take away the path for Canada, I guess. Canada could always come down and tap on that red for shot. This will be coming all the way down there though. Canada tap it up for shot. Don't think it has. That's very close. They're saying Sweden. It's not all that bad. Quite tough for Canada to make a good tap here.
I guess.
Canada will be more than happy just to force the one.
Because if she's hitting this,
No.
They got a good 2 at that
we have
last
to be going
end.
on this
She
side.
has that angle raise, but
What if we put it here?
to try and, yeah. The only thing is, do you think we can get there with the amount of finish? Like we
We might be able to come this way.
I think that's gonna go. I think that's too tricky almost. Like we're gonna be.
Edge of that red on the
I
other
think just
side
straight
though,
guard the
to
whole
just
thing.
nick it out.
Do you think she? Do you think she can make it?
See there, you can just see the edge of that red.
6 back is my only thing.
I know.
But there is a risk she could jam and leave it.
Because if she hits it just right, the 7's
That's
gonna
fine,
spin.
I think so. Let's go. Chris will tell you exactly where.
So Canada looking that yellow guard is a danger shot for Sweden to run in. So they want to bring this right into the front ring to block the raise.
Line's good.
You can't cover both sides. So
Positive.
Right here.
they're
Yep.
putting this in a position that's going to make it very difficult for Sweden.
Over and off. 2.
Okay, whoa. We're just gonna be high.
It's just over curling.
Sit. Nope.
It's good.
Eller? Är det tight? Oops, sorry.
Det här är stenhårt.
That's fine.
Träff där, den går så, den går så.
Träffen rakt på här eller?
Måste ju vara lite power i den alltså. Alltså den här ligger ju för att den här ska träffa utsida på den. Så den här kommer ju åka så.
Ja, och den sitter ner där.
Ja. Det enda som är dåligt är att träffa där. Men då blir det 1 till dem. Den här går ju aldrig någonstans. Det känns som en halvträff va?
Ja.
Stenhård halvträff.
Well, they're playing this one.
Jag gillar den här uppgiften. Risken är värd.
Feel like the risk is worth it. Might get 3 here. Run this right onto that top yellow. Stick it. Squeeze that redstone out. The back yellow goes onto the back reds and jams. Sweden gets 3. But it's a very, very tough shot. Big extension again. Too much inside out, I wonder. Yes. Still too much there. think it's one for Sweden. You do agree. And with that 1 point for the Swedes, it is a tied game, but Canada have effectively turned the hammer. They now have the last one advantage. And so far, it's the Canadians that has done the best through 4 ends.
En där.
Rätt omgång.
Ja, det är bra. Försöka tvinga dem nu då.
Ja, härligt.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah, good force there. That's a
guys.
really good end.
Let's
Keep it up.
Lite försiktigt.
Bra fart.
Mellan.
Almida.
Mellan.
Bra, helst inte. Bra fart.
Almida måste gå.
Hit ner tjejer!
Bra fart, helst inte.
Jag tror du måste gå dit.
Okej, känns där ändå. Känns där.
Nice center guard by Sweden and lead Fanny Sjöberg from Stockholm.
Härligt.
Her brother, Axel, picked up silver at the World Juniors in 2012. Playing for the skip Rasmus Vrano, which is the brother of Isabella. And of course plays second for Nicholas Edin. And they got the silver in the Olympic Games. And actually at that time, the lineup for the Swedish women's team, their 4 brothers played on the men's team, or they had a men's team, and all the siblings played the same positions.
It's a big family
Skipped by the
affair.
Vranos. And yes, not anymore, but it was very adorable.
Lite lång.
Låt den vandra lite.
Tid själv.
Sure there'll be some big sibling rivalry there.
Nästan bak.
Bak 4.
Bak 4.
Almida sen.
Sitter lite.
Jenny! Nej, Almida!
Okej, helst inte.
So
Helst
Sweden
inte.
just want to come right round this
Helst inte.
onto the forefoot. Plays that really nicely.
Yeah, shots like that, that's going to take you one step closer
Härligt.
to the medals. That gold one, of course. It's just that tiny bit more sparkly, isn't it?
And the wee curling stone with the gold on it. Definitely prefer that one to the one with the silver.
Line's good. Back T-line. Yep. T-line. Line's good. Line's good. Line only. All you. Line
So
only.
Canada
Back
just trying to
four.
follow
Line's
this
good.
in.
Back 8.
Freeze on top of the yellow.
Chris. Yep. Hard. You got it. Hard, Chris. Go.
Coming now.
Hard. Okay.
Let's remove it from
13-6.
the button.
15, 30. I was going to say 15, 6.
Ja.
Fannys väl osopad.
Ja, precis.
Tycker draget känns safeast.
Ja, jag gillar draget. Ja. 20 där. 25 funkar.
So Sweden would like to come in and just freeze in here. Cause a problem for Canada to have to remove it when there's backing.
Let's take a look at the raw clock again.
Något längre.
We're seeing 14 and a half, maybe even a touch more.
Bakåt och helst har
I'm sure they could sweep a 15-second draw to the button as well.
Bak 4. Sitter mycket här.
This one's cutting really fast though. It's not going to pass the top one, is it? Oh,
It's got some legs on it, 13-8, and that's actually slipping through the hole. That's a little bit unfortunate.
Or do you have enough?
Just all tight for line.
Okej.
Do you have enough or no?
Looking to just freeze that red.
We like 10.
Just over curls.
Okay. Where do you have to hit it?
Yeah, because even if she had just rubbed off that red and rolled in, it wouldn't have been a bad result. Just
should
to go
probably
through that
ball
gap
it
was
now.
very
If you don't have
unfortunate.
ball, but
Like 10 and a half.
Like you can. Right up, nice and smooth. Let's make it.
That's good.
So jams one, but does remove one, so it opens it up. Canada will be happier that the 4 foot's more open.
Vill köra draget igen?
Jag kan
Frysa
gilla
den är
så.
bra tycker jag.
Ja, okej.
Den här blir ju inte rolig bara.
Nej.
Kan jag gilla den?
Ja,
Ner och draget.
44.
Få lite mer is än förra Almeda.
Ja, precis. Lite mer is.
Spela en till fart.
Farten lite mindre, va?
20-25 funkar också.
So the Canadian shot is still back tee. So Sweden just want to freeze on top. Canada have got last stone. They want to get their 2.
Bra fart!
Sweden really trying to force.
8, 4.
Vår team måste ner!
Sweeping this one really hard. Again, the line's really pulling big.
Ner här!
Känns...
Mot frys!
Är lite dött.
Wow!
And that's perfect shot
Ah,
there.
härligt!
Very well judged.
Perfekt fart där.
Probably rip is what I was thinking, but.
Okay,
What else do you like?
we're not third, are we?
No. No. We're
1,
not.
3. Okay,
You like peel then?
yeah.
We're not able to catch the red. No. Like you can. Nice and smooth. Let's go.
Canada just feeling that getting in a bit of a guddle behind that guard, so clear open the front when they've got hammer.
Will make the peel. Carly Burgess.
Jag tycker att det enda som behöver gardas i våran.
Vad sa du?
Jag tycker att det som behöver gardas i våran. Jag ser inte att de har någonting här. Den här sitter alla dagar. Om de
Okej.
Så det viktiga är att garda här.
Ja, där räcker det.
Du behöver inte garda det, du behöver bara garda
Nej,
vår
precis. Hellre lite längre ut. Var med och hålla den lite i början. Men bara om farten är bra.
40.
Ja.
Det är bra.
Mycket puls.
Hårt Fanny.
It'd be great here if Sweden could half check that front red. Means then it's very difficult for Canada to hit either of the yellow Swedish
Kan man
stones.
få lite split? Nej, den kanske inte är där.
Bra.
Okej. Sitta.
Well, that's good there. It's always very difficult just to play the perfect half check without bouncing off.
Janet, härligt.
Hur tycker ni sättning va?
Yeah, and like if we send our red back,
Okay.
it'll at least open it up. They may sit the 2, but.
Right there.
Let's go.
Let's go, Chris.
Canada would really like to get their 2 going into the 5th line break. Just going to open this up.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
That's up.
Okay.
Okay.
Quite tough to see how Canada will score in this end if they can't
Yeah.
do more than just peel that guard. If Sweden can keep replacing it.
Där ligger den samma, för nu har jag lite mer is.
You, can you draw there for one? Not a lot of room.
I think there they were hoping even if they took the top guard and spun their red a bit just to open. Because that red's sitting at the top of the 12th foot, it's actually a hindrance to Canada.
Lite längre.
Bara Fanny.
Bra linje.
Nära.
Bra
Hake.
linje.
Might be looking to take revenge on Canada
Bara sitta sen.
for their brothers.
Hake minus.
Bara sitta.
Mellan.
Bara sitt.
Jordan Wåhlin, the brother of Jenny, along with Axel Sjöberg and Rasmus Vrano, lost to Brendan Botcher in that World Junior final in 2012. They have a chance to take down Canada in the final now themselves. Is there any ever any thought like that? Rivalry between nations? Is there certain teams you like to beat? Is it more a personal thing or is it country based?
I think obviously the family history will be there in the back of their minds. But I think for themselves.
Yep. 9.5. I like 9. Okay.
But you know, you're Sweden,
Where am I hitting it? Like
Canada,
7/8?
Scotland,
Yeah. Okay.
Switzerland. They're all
Let's go.
countries that have got a lot of history of wins and loss records, and certainly one big one which we'll see this afternoon is a Scotland-Canada final.
No, close. No,
Brings the best out in the crowds as well.
No. Yeah!
So Sweden's have left Canada a shot here.
That's good. That's good.
Not bad. Does remove that backing. It was a Redstone behind that yellow shot. That was the problem rock for Canada.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but we could have sat underneath in front of theirs if we
That's
just
good.
swept it a little more.
That's okay.
Always a perfectionist.
Frysa egen
I think that was really the best result she could have got from that.
Yeah, leaves them sitting second shot here. So it means that same run is for now available.
20 då.
I think Sweden here need to be bringing this one right in
20 bra.
to top, even to freeze on top of their own yellow here, so that if Canada do go for the raise again, they can't remove them both.
I guess ideally slightly on the inside of their own shot here, just to get the right angle. Should curl nice here. Pretty long guard.
Bra fart. 10. Bak 4. Jenny.
Bringing on Jenny to try and hold the line here. Power sweep.
Bak 4.
Hold line. Stone from curling. Needs to cross the face of this yellow ideally. In the end, gets a little tap. So leave some separation, means the run double isn't very easy for Canada. Not bad there for Sweden.
Yeah, ideally she just didn't want to bounce. A pound less weight just to come to the inside would have been perfect.
Probably there.
Runs pretty
With
But
a
it
9.
asks Canada the question now.
Will it be that same run this time for Caitlin Jones?
That's 9.
And if she gets this dead right, she could lift 2 yellows and lie 2.
Let's go, Kate.
But it's very thin.
Clean. Yep.
Trying to hold this line.
Sit.
Pretty good result.
That's good.
Takes 1 away
8.
and now lies second and third. Sweden need to be careful.
Nej. Det går inte att ta bort dem där, så det är bara att göra samma.
Just held that well to take the top one off.
Jag vet inte, jag funderar på om vi ska gå andra hållet, men bara för ifall vi hamnar kort så kanske de inte bara...
Ja.
So stone placement here from Sweden is
Här har vi
critical.
lite bättre linje också. Det är där vi ska hamna.
Ja.
They can't remove these reds because it would just jam on their yellows.
Alltså hellre lite kort än lång nu, Almida. Viktigt att hålla... Almida! Viktigt att hålla den där klossen.
Jag hör inte.
Viktigt att vi inte kallar över.
Ja.
Ner nu. Ner frysen.
Swedish
Ganska
coach out with the
viktigt.
binoculars, just seeing exact positioning of
vi
the
vill inte
stones.
kalla över. Snedfrysa våran gula är perfekt. 20.
Nej, lång. Lite lång.
Did not like that out of her hands.
Topp 4 nästan.
Vänta.
Well, feeling it was a bit heavy, and the sweepers are not touching it yet.
Sacka mycket.
Coming down now, though. Starting to curl. Starting to swing. Want to keep the line here. Want to keep the angle. Just left it.
They did think it was heavy early on. They were...
Well, the skipper thought it was heavy out their hands, but you could hear it. The sweepers were staying top 4 halfway down.
Should get the back one.
Do you like the same weight?
Yeah, because you're catching the back one, so yeah. I like.
Not sure if that was communicated perfectly.
Yeah, right up, like you can, Kate.
We're waiting for the line, I think. Sweepers definitely called that top 4 halfway down. In the end, it does stop top 4. Although they did sweep a bit in the end there.
8-9. 9. So 9.
Giving Canada a shot now.
Nice and clean, Kate. Let's go. Let's make it. Straight up.
Is it possible to make this control double to score 3? Last stone for Caitlin Jones. She's made some shots this week, and she'll make another one here. That is a double for 3. Another pistol by the Canadian skip, and that does get the crowd going.
Good sweep, good sweep. Way to hold that, guys.
That marks half time as well for the teams. They'll come off the ice for a 5-minute break. We're halfway there in this gold medal game. It's 5-2 for Canada. Gold medal game, Canada, Sweden. The Swedes are up by 1 after 2. Undercurling the freeze attempt. Sweden leaves this shot to score 2. Caitlin Jones, no problem.
It was bad though.
Yeah.
Lead the game after 3.
We could have had more room, so maybe just more.
In the 4th end, Sweden lying 1, but looking at this angled run back to maybe score a 3, but catches it too thin. Doesn't come off. That leaves Sweden to tie the game after 4. in the fifth end. Caitlin Jones with a glorious chance to double off the yellows, sit and score a three. That shot is made perfectly. A 5-2 lead coming into half-time. Well, you see the stats, quite a high scoring game between Canada and Sweden. It's been well played through 5 ends. Canada with that slight advantage, and now that 3-point lead on the scoreboard as well. Sweden will have it all to do here to try and turn this around, but we're only halfway there. Lots of curling to come.
Top 8. Top 12. 8. Top 8. Top 4 if you can. Hurry, guys. Get a top 12 at least. Hurry, Chris. Hurry.
Canada and Sweden, they're back on the ice for the sixth end and the second half of this gold medal game. We're in Curl Aberdeen Ice Rink in Aberdeen, Scotland. It's the World Junior Curling Championships 2018. You're listening to myself, Sander Rudvåg, and Rona Howie. Always nice to score a three before the half time.
Without doubt. They'd have been able to get their two there, but extra bonus to get their three.
And I can tell you this, Sweden has not been down more than 2 in any other game so far in the competition.
They've got 5 ends to go, so still enough time. Get their 2 back here. 6th end, score 6, 8 and 10. They score their 2s. Force Canada their 1. So the game's still wide open, but they're going to have to start putting a bit of pressure onto Canada.
They've only been down 2 on 2 occasions this whole tournament, and that was in the first half of the game both times. They did turn it around. They are undefeated coming into the final, but does that leave a bit of panic for the Swedes?
Yeah, I'm sure they're used to having to fight back in games. You say maybe this week they've not had to, but I'm sure they're more than capable of doing it. They know how to do it. Their big problem right now is Caitlin Jones is having a fantastic game. But they need to try and put the corners up, force an error from Canada. We did see an error there that Canada had put a short guard on by mistake, so they peeled it off themselves. But Sweden have got their 2 corners up here, placed well. That's all they need to get their 2 is 1 corner guard in play.
Currently, Burgess will be looking to peel quite a few guards, at least hopefully for Canada throughout this game. But that's a mistake by Burgess, and that's the mistake Sweden needs to get something going here, score a few points back.
Vad gillar ni för fart?
20. Ja, 20 bra. 25 funkar.
All tight for line. Let's see if Power Girls can hold the stone out there. I think they have.
Ganska bra.
I can just hold it that side of the line. So once it crosses the line, it will really start to pull.
Helst ner. Kom igen.
You want to bury this
Lite till, lite till.
far back as you can.
Lite mer. Härligt. Bra koll där.
A real good sweep.
Bra. Bra nu där, fin fart. 20.
You like to throw.
Bra nu
11
där.
or 10.
Bra.
Okay.
Really nicely
Like
played.
10, right up.
Canada can see enough just to tap it back though.
Whoa, whoa. Close. Step, 10-8. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. 10-8.
Hard to stick.
Well, I want to make up for our last mistake. Is it going to hang in the house? Yep, just.
11.
But Sweden ignore it and just get a better one round the corner now. Try and bury it completely.
Lite längre.
Längre ut.
Tid bak 4. Försiktiga. Bak 8.
10 bak 8.
Second och 10.
Bak 8.
Jobba lite.
Kan vara med. Jag eller Fanny?
Fanny.
Okej.
Vi måste dra den.
Bak 4.
Men vi måste gömma alltså.
Fort ner. Fort ner Fanny.
Mera Fanny. Mera.
Be pushed trying to pull this as far back as they possibly can to bury it.
Titta nu där.
The guard is quite long, so Canada can come round and just tap it back.
Just 12 here. Do you like that ice?
Yeah.
Let's make
Same
it.
as she gave for me, but we had room, so
Okay.
let's go.
Let's make it.
Kristen Clark having a great game today.
12. Step. Step. Hard. Hard. Hard.
And they get this past that long guard.
Hard. Hard. Keep going. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, squeaks past it. Plays that perfectly, rolls another one over to the wing.
12 seconds.
Sweden will just have to keep persevering, but just passes that guard.
Jag hade ganska mycket mer, men vi var långt från garden.
Ja, då kör vi det.
Well, the Burgess girls can certainly hold the line for a few shots as well.
Den andra rad också.
They've saved a few ones in this game already. Pretty good game for Jenny Wåhlin. The back ends on this game they've been really good.
Bak 4.
10, topp 10.
It's just very difficult to get the line absolutely spot on coming down here.
Bak 4. Bara stanna.
They've got to just scrape past the guard and have enough weight to pull it with a draw.
Vi drar den. Japp. Wow. Bra.
Härligt det där. Fint, bra så.
So Canada still lie short.
Bra Jenny.
It's overburied. You want to come down here?
Just want to draw?
Hey, do you guys like that?
I think so.
Okay.
You like that?
Yep. As long as there's second here. Yeah.
So that one was just a wee bit far back,
14-6.
Okay. Do you like this ice?
and it doesn't lie short.
Let's make it, guys.
However, if Canada do come in on top, Sweden can then come in on top of them. Because it's far enough back T.
T-line.
Line's good. Got
Line's
room.
good. All you.
Got
All
room.
you.
T
T-line.
Back.
Gotta be back.
Right
to
there,
it.
right there.
Room. Line's good. Room.
Right there.
Lots of room still.
Right to it. No bounce.
No bounce. Yep, go. Yep, right to it, Lynn. 14-4.
Den gör lite kortare då.
Ska ni hela vägen ner?
Fully frozen, perfectly level with that other red.
Ja, bak 4.
Be very tough for Sweden to bring that Yellowstone in to score.
Lite vass från förra. Snackar mycket på den här.
Just try and come on top again. Maybe even just top of the forfeit.
working this one for line and weight.
Gå, gå! Hela vägen ner!
Need to get it in the forefoot.
Stina, andra sten!
Is it there?
Sitta, sitta!
No, it's short.
He thought it was longer.
Any of it?
The sweepers.
Okay. So just same kind of weight.
Tiden den andra, eller är det
That I threw?
den
Like,
första också?
11
Jag tycker-
Hey.
Okej.
Half.
Fort tjejer! Hela vägen ner! Hela vägen ner! Lång! Eller, ja, ja, ja! Gå, gå! Inte långt! Gå, gå! Hela vägen ner, Fanny!
Mera på Stina, andra sten!
Work that really, really hard.
Sitta, sitta!
Jag var, en curl är helt annat.
Jag kan tänka bara lägga en tanke på det. Jag behöver inte göra något stort.
Men jag förstår inte riktigt deras.
Starting to think if that stone
Straight up here.
might be running a tad slower than the other ones. I wonder if it's happened a couple of times for Pauline, and the sweepers thought it was going
Quiet!
to glide on a bit farther than that.
Whoa! Whoa!
If you have a hunch, it's worth thinking about. Although they have matched the stones thoroughly before the game.
Little flop.
Great shot there. The hit and flop over.
12-5.
That's good. Placera den lite bättre då bara.
Seemingly can't miss a shot today, Caitlin Jones. Gonna have to put a lot more pressure on her to force an error.
Det är lite så länge vi kör liksom.
Ja. Är det optimalt att frysa eller vill vi
Ja,
vara...
vi måste frysa.
So Sweden going to persevere with this freeze coming round here. They freeze it perfectly, they will lie shot.
You might see Canada come off their own reds, so you might want to freeze this a little on the centre line side. Slight corner freeze.
Vänta då.
Bakom!
Calling this way heavy.
Måste ha chapp! Sitter ganska mycket här.
Gärna gå!
I think back 12 for this one.
Bakom!
But definitely tapping. Wanting to tap it with the right angle.
Fint det där.
Well, it's pretty good there.
I like that.
Bra sådär.
Probably just there. Yeah.
I think Canada's just going to follow it,
If you can.
and they can even afford to play a tap as well.
It does swing nicely in there at the end, just to the nose. As long
really
as
flattening
Canada
this
don't
path.
split off.
Just right to it.
This is where you try and play the dead freeze, and then you sweep it if it's starting to overcurl. And you can definitely tap it if you have the line.
Yeah, I think the line's a critical part here because she can stop just short of it and be short. She can be right up or she can bump, but it's the line
All
that's
you, still line!
the critical part.
Room, wait only! Right to it! No bounce.
Ah, they overcooked this one.
No bounce, no bounce. Sit. Good.
Does bounce off slightly.
2.
It's in a pretty good spot. Is it possible to get 2?
Very, very tight to miss that back yellow and keep your shooter lying second shot.
Tror du vi kan komma dit? Fråga. Med samma fart som förra ungefär.
But they have to score.
Bak 8 typ.
Ja.
För vi måste ändå vara liksom...
Så vi kan ju inte nudda den gula.
För att trycka den.
Nej, men vi får nog försöka.
Because they
Bakfyra
can't
då.
even afford to nick
Ja,
their
jag
yellow
har ju
at
liksom halva
all.
den stenen. Eller mer än hela.
Ja, bra.
Ta lite mindre än förra då.
So looking to come across the face of the red shot stone here. Just tap it, not even all the way out of the forefoot. And try and sit and score the 2.
Ungefär.
I think it's there, but it's very tough. Last stone, sixth end. This is where you go for your 2, but a miss might leave a steal.
Got to make sure of their score of 1 though.
Genom, precis genom.
Curla.
This is all heavier than intended, I think. Let's see if it can still come off, though. Getting close. very close. Taps it, sits, doesn't roll too far. I think it has.
One yellow.
Just lost it at the very last second. One yellow. Very close, but Sweden will trail by 2 points. It's a 5-3 game.
Kallar vi över igen. Är det någonting med andra eller?
She basically just skinnied her back
Exactly.
one, so I don't think that was there.
All right, so keep it clean. If they're going to go center, do we want to go to the wing or come?
I think wing.
I think-
Let's do 2 to wing.
Bra fart, hake.
Se lång ut.
Hake.
Se jättelång ut härifrån.
Hak, nära.
Känns bra. Helst gå
Hake,
lite.
gärna gå lite.
Se ut att stanna.
Den nästan skär. Den skär. Wow. Den skar. Wow.
Okej. Känns helst gå.
Den är haket upp.
Ja, den är överkant. Jaha. Bra fart Fanny.
Skar den.
Jag tror inte det. Men
Some worried Swedish fans in the stands, I think. They see their girls trailing by 2.
Good, all you. 12. Looks like a lot.
Favorites coming into the game,
Yeah.
you might say. Undefeated,
If it's through, you can
having
put it
last
through
stone
Yeah.
for the first end.
Might stick.
But the momentum Canada has had,
Yeah.
Okay.
12.
the way they've been playing,
Good try.
we were expecting a very close game. It's still pretty close, but Canada definitely with an edge here, 2-point lead. And the hammer, but here a mistake by Lindsay Burgess. Sweden will need a few more mistakes, and they're going to have to get a mistake or two from Caitlin Jones. It's tough to play against a skip who's making everything.
And Kristen Clark, you know, both back-end players for Canada are in really strong game today, so to force an error from them is key for Sweden.
Bara du.
And this is where the lead stones start to be really important.
Bara sitta.
Looking to throw that tight guard, which they have done.
Meter över. Helst inget.
Now the long one.
Kör lite.
Good distance here.
Bra där. Bra koll.
Just doesn't quite line them up. Neither stone on the center line.
Kör vi den där.
Leaves an angle to perhaps play the double later on for Canada. But for now, it sits in the free guard zone. They're not allowed to remove them. They'll have to wait one more. And instead of drawing to the wing,
Line's a little tight. Top 12.
like they were
Yep,
attempting on the first stone for Lindsay Burgess, they will try and come around and take control of the house before
Keep going. Top four,
Sweden
top
gets in
four.
there.
Line's good. Line's good.
It's always good to be the first one in,
Mine's good.
but with Canada
14-8.
2 up with the hammer, thought you might have seen them put this one on the wing.
Good. Oh, sorry. Good.
Is that there?
Finds a decent spot here. Lindsay Burgess, good weight control.
Det är härligt att glida på lite.
25.
Ideally, Sweden come around, either freeze this red, but perhaps just wanting to tap it in behind the tee line.
Bak 8.
Maybe just far enough to get shot even.
Bak 4. Den känns som att den går långt. Bak 8. Bak 12 nästan. Bak 8, 12.
Nej.
Lite risk på den.
Nej.
Bak 8.
I don't want to bounce off this.
Okej, det där. Okej, bra.
Bra där. Bra koll.
Bouncing doesn't really move the red too far.
Bra där. Härligt.
10 and a half.
Okay.
Or 11.
Sometimes when you bounce, it's okay if you can push that opponent's stone behind the tee line, open up that button.
Let's go. Like you can.
does at least push it all deeper.
11, little down. Whoa. 11.
Carly Birch's father, Craig, is a world junior champion himself.
Really hard, really hard, really hard,
Yep,
really
hard,
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 really
hard.
hard. You got it.
Right to it, right to
You
it,
got
right
it, got
to
it, you got it.
Played second for Jim Sullivan
Okay, good.
in 1988.
11-5.
That's good.
10-1 record.
Ja, kom igen lite.
Är det typ samma fart som förra eller lite hårdare?
Ja, typ samma
I
som
believe
förra.
they
Känns det som okej?
played Sweden in the final.
That's when the men and women's were split championships. They weren't together.
Peter Lindholm, or Peja, was beaten in the final.
Samma. Något mer.
And now a chance for them to do the same.
Bak. Bak 8. Bak 8.
Beating Sweden in the final here certainly had the advantage so far through 6 ends.
Genom. Järnet.
Oh, just caught that top word.
Okej.
Just a tickle.
Vänta. Gick och drar den långt.
Not a good one.
Okej, så.
Not a good result. Spins all the way through.
Put another one in.
Not catching any big breaks there, Sweden.
Cross ours a little bit.
I guess so.
Top 8.
I think so.
Yep.
Top
And
8.
then Jenny Wåhlin isn't able to keep
Yeah. Let's make it.
that line for you. Nobody else will.
Top 4. Top 8. Whoa. Just top 8. Line's good.
Top 8.
All you guys. All you. Line's good. All you.
Top 8, top 4.
Has to move. Has to move. Has
Really
to move.
needs to curl.
Has to move. No.
Little legs, little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, great to block the top of the controlling that whole top of the forefoot there.
That's about
Very
what we're
difficult for
thinking.
Sweden now to get in.
14-5, so about what we're thinking. Because that bumped it a little, so like 14-7.
Ja. Ja. Dyk inte på den, även om det ser
So
löst
Sweden,
ut.
having put up their guards, are now going to have to use them to raise it into the pack.
Now, one thing is making contact here, and the other is trying to stick the yellow in the forefoot. Looking close, runs it back on the shot. So look at that. Great shot. Fantastic effort by Jenny Wåhlin. That is just perfect. Could not have played that any better. Off the shot stone and gets that roll. Sits fully buried.
You gotta hit it, Sam.
Clean.
That's the kind of shot Sweden will need
Whoa.
to turn this game around.
It's gonna hit way too thin for that.
Good.
Hey.
However, Sweden need to be quite careful here because that red is very raisable for Canada to tap the yellow back.
All we need to do is just touch her line.
And a counter on the wing as well.
Yes.
Jag har kollat lite här. Jag ser till att komma ut lite lösare och ge den ordentligt. Kan behövas hålla ut.
So if this guard is not perfect, Canada can all of a sudden lie 3 when they've got the hammer at this end.
Viktigast att gadda vänster sida av röda också.
3 more shots to come for Sweden. Not easy to place 3 perfect guards.
Linje.
Bra linje. Ut med. Ligger bra. Bra linje. Bra linje. Bara sitta lite. Vänta, låt den greppa.
Bra linje.
Låt den greppa lite bara.
Almida.
Kan gå nu. Almida. Ja.
Hårt!
Hårt! Hårt tjejer! Hårt!
Bra där.
Bra sådär.
Finds the line this time. This is where the guard didn't finish for them in the 5th end. That just unraveled the end for Sweden, and Canada scored a 3. It's good to remember and improve on that line here. Very important to put that guard in the right spot.
Hold. Clean. Yeah. Stay clean, 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 clean.
Again, no mistakes from Kristen Clark.
Good. Do you guys want to stay?
Timeout called
Hey, let's chat.
by Sweden.
Feel free to stay a while.
I'll try and think if I'll be guarding 2 more times here or make another move. You know, missing a guard is a disaster. Margareta Sigfridsson, the coach, will make her way down to the far end.
Jag tror aldrig
Vilken den var.
Viktigast är väl att se till att få lite på den sidan.
Jag vet, men grejen, jag tror inte vi kan garda 2 gånger.
Nej.
De kommer ha ett slag vardera gång.
Ja, precis.
Vi kan inte låta dem få en toa, då är det typ.
Nej, men precis. Så vi gaddar en gång då.
Det var mer inför nästa och nu jag tycker som vi kan gå igenom lite.
Ja.
Det känns som nu kanske garden. Men på nästa känns det nästan, jag vet inte vad man ska göra, men det är kanske att man vill man då lägga garden lite närmre på nästa. För att det, alltså en 3 i baken, då känns det kört.
Jag tror att vi ska försöka lägga en bra gard. Inte så att pressen blir för lätt. Utan ändå någonstans.
Här nu,
Alltså på andra.
här nu och sen andra lite längre.
Andra då?
Om någon pilar den så känns det nästan som jag skulle vilja ha en topp 12.
Inte så nära tycker jag.
Okej, jag tänkte mer bara för att räkna ut den där.
Ja.
Matchen är ju borta om de tar 2.
Ja.
Samtidigt som... Ja, det är nice.
Ja, jag vet.
Vi har
Men
ett
alltså,
bra nice team
här
men
uppe
jag håller med dig.
kan du inte garda båda.
Ja, okej.
Här framme känns det som att,
Men typ om vi lägger den perfekt på andra också.
Ja.
Vad vill de göra då?
ja då kommer de nog snärta den för 2.
Snärta den? Ja. Det kanske är bättre att ha en liten närmare.
Försök lägga den ganska bra så att hon får svårt att välja vilken hon ska göra.
Ja, okej.
Men det är bra.
Men lägg den inte alldeles för nära på den
Ja,
här.
nej,
Inte så här.
Men haken nu då?
Höger knip på den här. Så länge den
Igen, hej.
Det blir bra. Jag gillar det ändå.
Var hade du isen, Bella?
Vad sa du?
Var hade du isen?
Lite mer is!
Ja.
Lite mer is, Almeda.
Man kan dra dem ganska bra på slutet. Så jag håller den lite i början bara.
Will be the guard again.
Snackar du mycket fart på den
Men
här då?
du var lite in på dina. Så var lite försiktig med mina.
Okej. Jag är lite.
Vänta. Nej.
Vänta, har plats.
Skulle behöva curla.
Ganska nära.
Gärna curla. Kommer nu.
Kommer nu.
Bra fart. Nära.
Vänta.
Haken. Nära. Helst sikta.
Nej.
Helst sikta lite.
Curlar.
Bara stanna.
Curlar.
Bara stanna.
Bara stanna.
Ja.
Fractionally over curled. Canada will be able to see the redstone. Can they see enough of it though?
Ja, vi får väl frysa deras då. Nästa.
That's what I'm thinking. That's probably
It was that side that Sweden had to cover, and it's over curled.
11 or 11.
I think 11 and a half.
Okay, I like that. Like you can, Kate.
I like that.
I guess so, yeah.
Let's go.
I think 11 and a half.
Yeah, I like that. Just roll the shooter as far as it goes, or like
Yeah, just
roll it?
yeah.
Okay, let's go, Kate. Nice and positive out here. Let's go.
Whoa! Easy. Whoa! Weight's good. Whoa!
So a great opportunity for Canada just to tap their own red back.
Lindsay.
Remove that yellow Swedish counter.
Lindsay!
Trying to make this curl.
Oh,
Just comes over the top.
Okay.
not quite what they were looking for there. Canada, a first mistake
Lägg en till gard.
by Caitlin Jones.
De har en
And
in på
she's
insidan.
not far off making it either.
Men
What was that?
11. So loud.
That's all they needed, Sweden here.
jag håller
Aye, a
lite i
chance
början.
Ja, jag vill ha mer
to
is,
steal.
Almeda.
They could steal 2 here with a good draw.
Det känns typ som vi inte kan curla för lite.
Nej.
Det känns som vi bara kan curla över.
Yeah, you wonder there if Canada would have been better just catching the guard, opening it up.
Yeah, I'd say so. Leaves 2 reds in play, if anything, but there's no red guards to run in.
And it's very difficult to draw down in the out turn to the button.
Bra fart, hake.
So if
Hake.
Sweden come right in here,
Mellan hake.
Vänta, plats.
they could freeze on top of their own.
Vänta lite.
Mellan.
Bra linje.
Långt ut.
Ska vi dra den?
Fanny drar den. Fanny drar den. Det räcker.
I'm quite happy just to block the way into the shot.
Just the
But
guard.
I'd have liked to have seen her come right in and freeze on top.
Yeah, it looks very tempting to come top 4 there.
Bra Lin.
Just because the draw is so difficult on the out turn.
Even if you come over buried a little bit, you take away that out turn draw.
Back 4. Okay.
How do you? You have to run it back then.
It would really have put the pressure on to Canada.
Right out to it, Kate. Let's go.
What is it running right now?
Like, still 14 and a half.
Just a touch more.
Just easy.
Yeah, slight mistake on the first one. Caitlin Jones' best one though. Was very tough to pull off.
Back 12.
Not a lot of room, and now it's
Whoa.
being called heavy by the sweepers.
No.
Sometimes it does come down though.
No.
Can they ever rub and roll off of the shot stone?
Gotta go for weight.
Trying to tap it here.
Hard out. Yep.
Tap it far enough? I think so. 1 for Canada. Do you wonder if Sweden should have brought that last stone in to sit 2? Left the shot for Caitlin Jones, and you really can't afford to do that. Another shot made by the Canadian skip. Another point for Canada. They're up 6-3.
Let's get really nice ones. Top 4, top 4.
Let's go.
Let's go. We got this. Keep it up.
Keep it going.
3 on 5.
And I missed the time. 46. Top 4. Top 8. Top 4. Line's good. Just top 4. Line's really nice.
Another point for Canada.
14-4.
They are up 3. Sweden.
Hard, Chris. Go.
Well, you never
Really nice.
admit that you hope
Good.
for a miss from your opponent, but surely Sweden was just hoping to get a mistake and a steal there. How devastating is it to see that shot being made and now being 3 down again?
Yeah, you're obviously hoping for a mistake, but Sweden could have made that a lot harder for Canada there. Canada did have a shot to play to get their one, whereas if she'd drawn a second one in and frozen on her own, it would have been very difficult for Canada to get in. But 6-3 up now for Canada, getting to the business end of the game.
Bra koll. Bra Fanny.
8th end, Sweden really need to get their 2 back. Can see the difference in the lead stats. Sweden 20% more than
Lots more line.
their Canadian lead.
Lots more line. Lots. Weight's pretty good.
Lindsay Burgess just struggling a bit today with the setups.
Yeah, I gotta go. Okay, yep. Switch if you can. Right to it. Go hard. Hard, you got it, Carly.
But if Sweden take a 2 here, force 1 and take a 2, the game's tied.
14-7. Really good. 7. Okay. Really nice throws, Lynn.
Nice shot, Lynn.
That really finished in. Good sweep.
Really good.
Let's gå! Måste gå hela vägen, tror jag.
Jenny!
Ganska bra då. Ja, det var bättre.
Hake!
Bättre än jag trodde. Den känns bra.
Hake minus! Bra linje nu!
minus igen nu.
Hockey minus.
Helst inte. Bättre än jag tror. Lite längre. Lite längre.
Lite längre. Ja. Sitta. Sitt. Bra.
So 2 good corner guards there.
Jag gav den lite mer. Jag klockar 25 på förra, 50 på den här.
Ja, jag klockar 33:45.
Ja, bra koll. Bra Fanny.
Nice and smooth, like you can. Feel.
So Carly Burgess going to peel off
Whoa.
this corner guard.
Whoa. No. Hey. Good.
Plays that well. No mistake there.
Nice. The nice throws. Very rich.
Du ska inte köra en till gard och sen bör...
Jag kan gilla att inte vänta allt för länge med de här. De är helt kloss. Skulle vilja dutta lite. Tjapp, dutta på den är jättebra.
Ja.
Den tar bort kornen. Du kan väl lägga runt den, upp den igen sen. Det känns som om de nubblar över kornen nu ser det inte kul ut. Jag gillar den. Du kan ju dutta lite. Spela en 10 fart.
10 fart. 20.
Ja, 20 bra. Lite dutt. Känns isen bra?
Ja, för de ligger ändå ganska högt upp. Vi ska inte mer is.
Sweden just looking to get Almeida Deval to tap on these reds and sit in front so that the freeze will be there, but also push one back tee just to give them something to play with in the house.
Kommer snart. Backa in snart. 10.
Bak 4.
Nej, måste curla.
This one is not curling though. With that ounce of running weight, it's taken a long time to bend. Our weight was perfect, but just didn't curl enough.
Var lite lång va? Ja, 10. Bakåt kanske?
Okej. I think I'd like to stick.
Okay. Roll out 10.5. Go for big roll here. What kind of weight?
10.5.
Okay, like you can.
See the comparisons for the 2 second players.
10-2.
Pretty similar. Battle between them today.
Close. Whoa. Chris.
Carly Burgess just looking to remove this yellow and roll over.
Okay. 9-8. That's fine.
Just rolls out. They won't be too bothered with that.
That's good.
Samma.
Leaves the same shot for Sweden.
Ska vi spela samma fart eller lösa det?
Lite lösare.
Ja.
10.
15 då.
Ja.
See the Sportsmanship Award.
Lite lösare.
10.
2 of them. One for a women's competition, one on the men. Every year.
Bakåt där. Samma fart. Lite lösare.
The players vote on who they would like to receive that award. It's a nice tradition.
Hårt Jenny. Hårt Jenny.
This is a better line.
Fint där. Bakåt.
Wanted to tap it fractionally further, but does the job in that it's freezing the top red. With Canada line too, though, they could just call their bluff and put the guard up.
Yep. Okay, we're still 2, right? Yep. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
She's just gonna play.
And that's why they wanted to tap one red just further back to the back ring even.
Let's make this good.
Yeah, it was funny. They said they wanted to throw less weight than on the first attempt. And that first attempt didn't really have that much running on it. And you needing to move a couple of stones, you need a bit of weight. Some of the momentum does come off.
Right here. Room.
3.
Just right here, guys. Really curling.
Just mentioned
Just right
that
here.
It's 3.
China is in the lead in the bronze medal game.
3.
7-5.
Gotta
Playing
finish.
Norway, they are in the 8th end as well.
Whoa.
Slightly ahead of this gold game.
15-6.
As we see Kristen Clark's guard come a tad deep. Means Sweden might be able to run it back and
Är det clearing?
rattle some stones.
2-3 bara vicka.
Ja.
Vilka
Se till
corner?
att...
Vi vill ju gärna stanna kvar med
Snacka
vår...
mycket om hur rakning går också så att vi får blicken perfekt där.
Den här har vi.
Ja.
Yeah, if they catch this just right, they could leave themselves in a good position guarded.
Bra fart! Ja! Wow!
Lite upp.
Var med! Ja! Okej. Wow!
Hanging that side of the line.
Ja! Okej, sådär. Härligt! Bra,
I
Jenny!
think they're pretty happy with that result.
Bra boll, Bella.
Yep. 11. Okay. Do you like that ice?
Probably hoping to stay more right in front of the red,
Do you like that?
but wanted to roll and leave a guard.
Let's go. Just 11 here.
You can hear Canada very often playing either a 10.5 or 11. That is seconds from the hog line to the hog line.
They're working this one really hard to pass the guard.
Oof.
Okay. 11-2.
I was going to say, so accurate sometimes I'll call that decimals. You hear them called 10-8 and so forth.
Yep. 20. 20, bra.
That's just
10.85672.
decimals over 22 meters of running between the hog lines.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Look at that numbers. Playing above the 90s, both the thirds.
Great shooting today from both of them.
Ser lång ut.
Okej.
Vänta.
Bara kalla då.
Måste kalla. Måste kalla. Mirja!
Kommer lite.
Working it hard as she passed. Oh, just rubs off the top.
Same thing as what
Do you like it with the
Sorry.
or still
Okay,
the
so-
end?
Jag satt lite ner.
Just 11.
And Skip apologizing for
Like you can.
missing the line call.
We held mine pretty good.
Den där jävla trean.
I think 11. I just watched Chris's, so. Yeah.
Nice and easy. Let's go.
You guys held it really
Not really
well,
able.
so.
Any pressure on
Go like you can.
Caitlin Jones here on at least on the first one, and sort of running out of stones as well. Isabella Verano's going to have to
Clean. Clean. Yep.
score a skip's deuce, just like we saw
Yep. Yes.
Jones do it in the third end,
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
because I believe this shot is made.
Good.
Nice little hit and flop.
11.
Now, how do you get your two here?
Well,
It's pretty good.
with great difficulty.
Fan mjuk. Alltså,
Knacka lite.
ja, eller göra dubben på de här i och för sig. Vilka där. Då kommer de dra en till.
Yeah,
Nej, vi måste
Canada
gå på den här.
got one top of the four. It's
Vill du köra
covered.
clearing eller?
It's
Nej.
just not really an easy way in
Spela
for
typ
Sweden
en
at all.
tvåa.
Tvåa.
I think they're looking to run this yellow guard back, just maybe chisel off the red on the left and then onto the shot stone.
Det finns liksom ingen
Either that or catch all thicker, try and roll in between the two reds on the center line.
Skicka ner den där med typ en...
I think you can, but you're rolling. Out.
Tough either way.
Yeah, I guess
Unless
from
you play
your
it
angle,
It
it's
is.
like
And I think
over here, it's like,
even if she gets this perfectly, Canada have
minutes.
got reds at the front they can use to raise.
You see Caitlin Jones having an advantage on their opponent in numbers.
Hårt! Wow! Wow! Var med! Ja! Järnet!
She's being left some tough shots. Verano makes the
Vilka Jenny? In då!
run and roll. That's very close to perfection. But that's not going to be enough.
If you hit what you can see, that's pretty good.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if it just rolled a fraction more so that Canada couldn't have raised red onto yellow without jamming.
I think we're clipping it.
Vill du ha lite längre
Gotta
vick?
keep our shooter
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
Kind of weight do you like 10?
That's what I was thinking.
Or maybe 9.5.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was thinking 10.
think it's
What do
clipping
you
or
guys
2.
like for weight?
You think it's clipping or two?
Yeah. But I think we still got to keep it up and have
Okay.
our shooter stay here.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so 9.5.
I like that.
Okay. Let's see. Just like you can, nice and smooth.
I think as soon as we get our red, we're good. We have space, so. All right, let's make it, Kate.
Let's go, Kate.
Just a hair more.
Nice and easy.
9.5, if it's not getting.
Let's go.
Whoa. Whoa. Stay close.
Talking about keeping the shooter in the 12 foot here, I think most importantly, just make contact and get rid of that yellow stone.
Just stick.
That is pretty good there. I'd be very happy with that result.
Yeah, great shot.
Yeah. Just 9-2.
Forcing Sweden to their one.
I didn't want to lose the
It's not an easy shot either, coming off that
Yeah, 9-2.
corner guard there and missing the front red, because it really does swing a long way.
I was like, don't spin, because I knew we were here.
This is tough. Is it even there? I wonder.
Det enda jag funderar på om vi ska göra dubbel.
I think she can make the blank.
För att det känns svårt att komma hit.
That's not terrible.
Tycker du det? Ja, okej. Ja.
Det känns jättesvårt att komma dit. Det, alltså den här är vägen.
Ja.
Det enda kan... Ja. Eller vi
Den
kan
sitter
försöka
inte
om
där,
du
va?
vill. Men jag måste nog sätta megaspin på den för att den kommer ju kalla in i den här annars.
Ja.
För att komma dit liksom.
Kör på din magkänsla.
Jag
Eller?
tycker draget ser lite tajt ut.
Jag har också känslan över det, alltså.
Det känns ju på att den där kan vi
vinna.
den andra kan vi nästan nolla på.
Ja.
Dubbel.
Ja. Hur mycket behöver man för dubbeln?
Ja, alltså halv, tunn halv.
Ja, halvtunn halv har man. Om du vill gå på den. Jag gillar båda. Vi gillar båda. Jag tror draget kan sitta, men då är det verkligen kombinationen fart och linje.
Det känns bara som det är väldigt svårt att komma dit. Alltså väldigt svårt. Jag gillar den här.
Du kör på den då.
Ja.
Sometimes you have a junior skip not liking the draw and opting for the hit. This is
Vad gillar du Fis?
not quite that same situation. And just looking at that corner guard, the draw looks really, really tough.
Yeah,
I think-
initially she called the draw, but then when she went up and looked at it, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, so playing the shot she knows is there. Take the guard here, game's over. Looking for the double, for the blank. One, no, not the two, and it's a steal of one for Canada.
Get those two. Good end.
So what do we want to do?
On top four, because that's set up perfectly.
Yeah, and let's go.
If it wasn't good, do we like picking it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
yeah.
go.
guys.
Let's go.
Pick it up. 2 ends left.
In the World Juniors,
Lots of line, not moving. Not moving.
best they ever did was 7th.
Shoot, sorry.
Both those teams, China and Norway, coming through the qualifier, in the World Junior B Championships.
What was that?
Yeah,
Third team
Pacific
stick.
nations are certainly making their mark in world
We
curling.
can make those peels
With the
easy.
Olympic Games,
Yeah.
Korea and Japan medaling. And now China in the juniors.
60 member associations in the World Curling Federation, and still growing.
Hake!
Känns där.
Kan hålla.
Inget fart.
Hake!
Bra
As
fart.
far as I
Hake.
understand,
Bra linje.
no team
Bra linje.
on the women's side at least has gone undefeated to the final and lost. It's never happened.
Ungefär där.
This could be a first for Sweden.
Bra koll där. Kalle. Bra Fanny.
It's not a stat you want to have.
Perfekt fart.
No, definitely not. Alex, the thing is, it doesn't matter how many games you've won in the round robin. When you get to this stage, it's a head-to-head game.
Well,
And it doesn't matter if one team's won 5 games and one's won 9. That's irrelevant when it's a head-to-head final for a gold medal.
hard out, Carly.
Canada just trying to remove their own stone because it was back tee, so Sweden could have used it.
Framför är skitbra.
That doesn't really improve it.
No.
It was a stone that's backing behind a corner guard potentially.
Snackade också mycket linje på den.
Didn't think the stone in the back there was too bad. I'd be more worried about leaving a stone top 8 foot than back 8 foot. A freeze is a lot less lethal than coming around. You'll see some teams even draw back 4 on purpose just so there's less room to come around to use it as a guard. The freeze will have to be very perfect to leave you in a trouble in the open on the center line.
Hake plus nära. Hake. Ja, lite mer.
Bra där.
Bra koll.
Fint Fanny. Bra koll.
Leaves a bit of an angle here. It's very tough double.
Bra koll. Härligt.
Sometimes when you go for these doubles, you try a little too hard and you leave
Straight up. Nice and smooth.
a couple of guards. You might make contact on that second one, but leave the shooter, not punch the second guard far enough. You got to make sure to just make the one and roll away. Sounds close.
Come on, clip it, clip it. Ah.
Ooh.
Very close.
And an O through the arena. Fans had the same thought as us.
Vi gaddar ett par gånger, sen fryser vi på en till.
Jag gillar det. Frysen. Bak 12. Bak 8-12.
Okej, nu placerar vi den här bra.
Bak 12.
Rätt vinkel nu.
15 då.
Laid out the plan there.
15.
Vrano
Ja, 20 funkar. Det rinner på ganska bra.
thinking freeze is back red. Canada peels the guard. They'll guard a few more times and then lock on another freeze, but it's going to have to be perfect.
15.
First they could get a mistake from Canada. That might change the plan. They'll also have to make their own shots, of course.
Bak 12. Bak 8. Bak 12.
Looks
Inte
pretty
frysen.
good here.
Nej, jo, lite dött. Perfekt där.
Nice.
Great shot.
Bra koll
Det är
tjejer.
långt där alltså. Bra Lina. Härligt.
It just curled a fraction more to the nose of it
Klocka 10.
rather than the edge so that they could bring another one in on top at some point. But a very good effort.
Good. Take care.
I just have to sweep Carly's because she slides really tight.
Yeah.
I need them to back up.
Okay, so there is space there.
Jag bara tänker så här, hur många gånger vi ska lägga
Even
upp
if
den.
you just went.
Jag hörde någon vad hon sa.
Ja, okej. Jag hörde inte riktigt.
Hake sa du?
Ja.
40.
Ja, 40.
Bra start. Hake.
Ganska hög.
Hake.
Ganska mellan
Okej, bra.
hake.
Mellan.
Hake.
Se till att den inte är för lång
Mellan.
bara.
Mellan.
Allt utan för lång är okej.
Vad sa du?
Fanny,
Hake.
Fanny, Fanny. Det är bra.
Alltså,
Jenny.
So just replacing the guard so that Canada can't
vad sa du?
hit what's behind it.
Skokers. Det är lugnt tror jag.
Curl down. Clean. No, it's good. Tilt. No. Whoa. Falling.
Yeah.
Back one.
Curl.
Okay.
I got it.
En till samma. Sen fryser vi igen.
Gard.
40. Yeah.
Canada did have 3 straight titles. in the women's competition until Sweden won last year. Could be a fourth in 5 years. And they even medalled last year, bronze, Kristen Streifel.
Haken, nära.
Vänta då.
Risking.
Canadian girls have certainly done well at the Worlds
Snacka lite nu, haken.
recent times.
Ligger
Titta
bra.
lite bara.
Hake.
Bra linje. Bara titta.
Ligger bra. Till nästa sen så vill vi...
And Caitlin Jones is only 19, so she's still got a couple of years left
Ja, det är bra.
Halvjämnt.
to come back for more.
Bra fart. Är det någon sida vill du vara på eller är det kört?
Right up to it. Let's go.
Just clean. Just clean. Good.
Caitlin Jones was born the year 1998, when curling became an Olympic medal sport.
Good.
Annars kan de panga på.
Båda är bra.
Säg att vi lägger här då, Jenny.
Topp
Lite
12.
längre ner.
Ja.
Ja. Måste en hel topp 12.
Topp.
Alltså, för grejen om vi fryser nu, då kommer de spela bort den på nästa.
Ja, det är sant.
Då kommer de få en dubbel.
Ja.
Ska vi
Då är
köra
det 2. Vi skulle
topp 12
behöva
då?
gå för att... Nej, vi kör en till.
En till gard.
Okej.
Ja. Exakt samma då.
Samma då. Jättefin fart på förra Jenny heter det.
Ja, jag kör samma.
Plan remains the same. Throw a guard. Expect the peel from Canada, and then just gonna have to make an exceptional freeze. Get a half shot from Canada. Might bring the 3 into play.
Mycket bra fart.
Hake.
Bra linje.
Hake minus.
Bra fart nu.
Amira.
Hake minus.
Amira.
Bra linje, mer dra.
Hak emellan.
Hårt, Amira.
Hårt in. Hårt in. Lite till tjejer.
Hårt.
Lite mer tjejer. Gå. Ligger bra där.
Räcker.
Härligt.
Bra.
Bra koll där.
Canada could
fart.
call their bluff. They're 4 up, 2 ends to go. They could zoom around that guard. Tap back, tap, tap, and sit in front of the yellow.
Think just peel.
I think so. It's full
Yeah, because the most they get if we peel is probably 2, so. Like you can.
I had a quick think whether to come round and get to the nose, but playing the scoreboard, isn't it? You're 4 up, you don't need to gamble. Just keep it clear.
Ja,
Om någonting.
så den är linare. Bra.
Ja.
Peel. Clean. Yep. Right up. Yep. High. Right up. Good.
Now the question for Sweden: do you make that freeze to try and get a 3, or do you just take a safe 2?
Vad säger vi fart hit? 15?
Then you need to steal 2.
Jag hade 15
What's
Måste ner mot nu.
what's the biggest chance of winning here? Steal 2,
15 är bra.
and then a 1,
15. Vi måste
or
ner. Vi
make
måste
this
bara gå för det.
perfect freeze
Vad sa du?
15.
and then steal
Det är chattfrysen som är bäst.
Nja.
1 and 1, or a 2 for the win.
Yes.
How confident is she about making this dead freeze?
Guess you just have to go for it.
Japp, japp, japp.
Lite kort.
Well, if you want to win the game,
Lite kort tid.
these are the risks you need to take.
Ner! Måste ner!
Topp 4.
Sweepers don't think it's there.
Jenny!
Trying to get in for a shot at least.
Bak 4.
Wow. Ska jag lämna den här då?
Ja.
Just gonna leave it short.
Yeah, it'd be better leaving it high.
Bara
Den är
sitta.
strax bak.
Bara sitt. Bara sitt.
Boa curls leaves the double for Canada.
Double's there, but I don't mind icing tight just to make sure, because the only thing you can't do is like
Dåligt.
Hasn't been perfect today. Isabella Brano.
Yeah,
She's had
she's
some
had
tough shots to play.
though. Yeah.
Try to run that other yellow.
Let's go, Kate.
Caitlin Jones has
Icing tight, so.
played an outstanding game today.
She's the bonus. Let's go.
Right out to it.
You can hear
We definitely can.
Jones saying, rather ice this tight, meaning tolerance is definitely catching the inside here. Just get rid of the one yellow. Looks pretty tough to ever jam it and leave a shot for 3, but still. Could get the double here. Lifts both the yellows. 1 and 2. There you go.
Great shot.
And it's not even going to be a 2 for Sweden.
Good.
Again. Clutch shot.
Nice.
Chugi.
Tall order for Sweden. They're 4 down. Do they take their 1 here? Try and steal a 3. But just an uphill task. Blanket and try and score 4 with a hammer.
Bra fart, lite fart. Var har vi den?
Either option are a tough
Ganska bra.
ask for the team.
He'll draw for 1 here.
4. Helt er. Lite bra.
Score 1 in the 9th end.
Glider på rätt långt. Ja, glider med. Bak 8.
Något långt på klockan, men det är lugnt.
Looks pretty good here.
Bak 4.
Comes up on the forefoot, 1 yellow.
One yellow.
Canada can taste it now. 1 more in to go.
Corner.
I like 12.
Yep.
I like 12. I like 12.
Get our shooter right out.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
And then just make our peels.
Yep.
Let's make all the
Last here.
last end.
Hey,
Let's go. We got this. Let's go.
We got lots of time too, so
Yeah.
we got 8 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Bra fart! Bra fart!
Se lång ut.
Känns bra! Bra fart! Lite kort nästan.
Lite kort.
Håll den.
Mellan hake. Ungefär där. Känns där. Är där själv.
Bra.
Där.
Bra koll.
Härligt.
Fint Fanny.
Kör vi en till åt andra hållet så får vi
Straight through.
köra det.
Hey, I'll get this one.
Okay.
Sweden, without the last one advantage, will throw the corner guard. That's not something we see quite often.
Killed it.
Yeah, just you'll see teams put a corner on either side, which is the tactic normally when you do have last stone. But we've seen this a couple of times. Teams just get the play spread about.
No, the bronze medal game was over. Oh my god, I'm so not. Bra, det är mindre.
Lite kort!
Bra linje.
And because they don't have the last stone,
Gärna kolla det.
they're able to throw 2 corners and
Ja, där. Känns där.
leave them there.
Något längre. Ja, där.
Yep, and sometimes
Det vi
you
gör
leave
nu är
that
att vi
easier double
Vi
peel in
rundar
the
den.
center guard,
Så
so
hoppas vi
now
att de
it's much
missar.
harder to remove both of these.
Vi rundar ena, sen så lägger vi cornern, precis som missar någon. Hoppas vi.
Wow.
Canada just asking to peel. Oh, no, we can't.
Through again, or?
That's free guard
I think
zone.
right through. I like it.
The plan for Sweden is to come around one of the guards. Canada takes it off to come around the other guard, thinking Canada might hit the open one, then they come around the same guard. Now you have a chance to lie 3 at least, and then you'll have to hope for a complete miss.
Canada just throwing this one through. They don't want to try the tick.
I'm so used to Carly.
Sweden will have to play a perfect end.
Ja, dina gick ganska.
And even then,
Jag tror inte att jag säger någonting.
it'll be a fairly straightforward shot to win the game for Canada.
Linje.
Lite löst.
Linje.
8-12.
Hårt linje.
12. Känns gard. Nära.
Hårt linje.
Känns gard. Nära.
Hårt linje.
Hela vägen.
Hårt linje.
12.
Järnet. Hårt. Fortsätt. Lägger vi bara garden på den sen. Om de inte tar bort den.
It doesn't bury completely, but they won't be too worried about that.
Jävlar, den gick längre än jag trodde. Sorry.
Could I do it over the top or?
Yeah, like just peel that side one and try and catch the back if you can.
Should I go check the angle? Because we don't.
Okay, like you can. Right up, nice and smooth. Still. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Curl.
Oh, great shot. Removes the guard and the one in the house. Carly Burgess will be happy with that one.
Samma fart. Eller nej.
Leaves very little hope for Sweden.
Ja.
And we're going to have to get even 2 or 3 complete misses from Canada
Bra fart, Hake.
on their next 5 shots.
Lite gott. Bra fart, Hake.
Chances are looking slim.
Yeah, Canada have played so well all game. I don't think you're going to get that number of misses in one end.
Ungefär jämn höjd. Har de dit. Lite mer till. Bra så. Jag kollar.
Bra.
Bra nu då.
Like you can, right up. Good. Good.
Klockan. Ja, vad gör den? Har vi tajt?
Jag vet inte.
Vi har bromsat. Corner. 40.
Eller ska vi lägga en center?
Jag killar en centern då. De har
Ja.
varit ja,
Center.
corner clearing. Ja.
Annan clearing för en.
Ja, 30 okej. Jag tror ändå 40 typ. Jämn höjd med andra.
Ja.
Nära!
Lite lång.
Lite upp hörni.
Hake.
Hörni nej. Nära. Hake. Hopp. Ja, sacka lite.
Nej!
Sweden just really going through the motions here.
Lite kontra in.
Nej! Yes!
Bara sitta. Hake. 40 minus.
Just trying to force one error from Canada. But 3 down without the hammer.
Rainy. Yeah. I think I like the out, it'll run.
Unless you just want to do the straight one.
I like the out. I don't mind the out, but probably just getting one though, I'm thinking.
If we're going to go for one, I think we do this way.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Just quite happy to peel the one centre guard.
Yep. Yeah.
Must be a nice feeling for Canada in the final of a
Straight up, please.
gold medal at stake, and you're 3 up with the hammer coming home. Can't ask for a better position than that.
I was a little worried it was gonna curl there.
Lite lång. Bak
Lite
4.
lång.
Nej, 10. Bara Almida. Topp 10.
Bak 4.
Bak 4. Dra din gömd tjejer.
Sweden have only got this one guard that they can play with.
Ja, måste ner dit. Ja, måste ner.
Just trying to come round it as far as they can.
Dra din
Bury.
gömd nu. Helt gömd. Ge plats åt de andra. Kom igen.
Plays it well.
Bra fart. Inte det.
Let's go.
Nu kör vi.
Let's go, cut straight out there.
Make it go away. Clean. Yep. Hard! Right out.
Kristen Clark does her job.
Good sweep.
Yeah, and leaves the winning shot for the skip.
Andra sidan där. Så långt ut är bra vi kan.
She'll have 2 chances, Caitlin Jones, to open hits,
Ganska mycket gadder så.
but I'm sure she'll only need the one.
Typ, ja, 2015, någonstans där.
Rip whichever one you like on your next one.
15. Ja.
A slight sign of resignation here.
Okej, skada. 10 bra. Det är 10.
She knows what's coming.
Ska jag köra? Behöver gå. 8.
I'll at least need to hit the rings here.
Det är 10
And it is looking good.
10. Byta.
Jenny!
Still working the sweepers to get it perfect.
Längre.
Staying professional to the very end here, Sweden.
I think I'm just throwing peel.
This is it.
Skip stream shot, an open hit to win a gold medal.
Yeah, just catch a piece. Make one yellow go away here. Even have a second chance for the gold for Canada. And this final to beat the reigning world champions of Sweden. Here we go. It is made. Gold for Canada.
Good game.
And an impressive run by the Canadians. They will stop Sweden in their tracks. Only team to be able to beat Sweden this week, undefeated throughout to the final, to be stopped by Canada, a 12th gold for our Canadian women juniors. It's a second title for second Carly Burgess, third Kristen Clark, a first for Caitlin Jones and lead Lindsay Burgess.
Oh my God. So proud of you girls.
7-4 final. That is 4 titles in 5 years for Canadian women juniors at the Worlds. Second title for Coach Andrew Atherton as well.
I'm glad to end on high. Who wants? Okay, I'll just sign it. Just. Okay.
Didn't get the big dramatic finish we were hoping for, but we have a new world champion. And a nice gesture by Caitlin Jones to bring the last stones back.
That's like my mess up on Lindsay's throw.
God, you were good in that game. You guys thought that our national final was a good game? Not even close. Good game. Not even close.
Good game. I just want to hug everyone. Yeah, Chris.
Yes.
Do it for Chris. Oh, thanks.
Certainly play their hearts out today, Team Canada, especially back end of Kristen Clark and Caitlin Jones, just absolutely firing in every cylinder, making everything. Made it very tough for Sweden. Just couldn't put enough pressure on them, and even when they did, Sweden, Canada made their shot.
Where's my GoPro when I need it? Oh. I have to go do an interview, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun. Good luck.
And we'll have some highlights for you, and Caitlin Jones making her way over to towards Rona Howie. We'll have a chat with her, see what her thoughts were about the game and how it is to be world champion. Sixth end.
Samma som förra, ungefär.
Tough shot left for Isabella Verano. Coming across the face of this red, just chopping it out of the forefoot and try and sit for two. Does make the tap, but the shooter rolls just a tad too far. Only the one trails by two after six.
Just a touch more.
In the seventh end. Looking really good for Sweden to pick up a steal. But Caitlin Jones wanted it differently, makes the tap just enough to score the one.
Keep it up, keep it up. 3 on 7.
A 3-point lead after 7. In the eighth end, Sweden thinking the in-turn draw looked just too tough to make. Going for the makeable shot, the double and blank. Doesn't quite make it. Canada steals one. After only scoring one in the ninth end, Canada able to run Sweden out of stones to become world champions, 7-4. I believe Caitlin Jones is ready with Rona Howie.
Well, Caitlin, world junior champion, gold medalist. How does that feel?
Oh my gosh, it's indescribable. I feel amazing right now. I know I put everything out there on the line today and came out on top, and that's just an incredible feeling.
You yourself had an awesome game, but your team, you must be really proud of them.
Oh, of course, I'm super proud of them. Like, we've worked so hard to get here, and from me moving all the way across Canada to play with them, I think it was like one of the best decisions I've made.
And was that your game plan today, to force your opposition to one? They never multiple scored when they had the hammer?
Yeah, of course, it's definitely a goal to force them to one, because that means, yeah, you got the end goal that you wanted. But yeah, no, we definitely wanted to keep it simple for the ends that we had hammer and stuff, and whenever they had hammer, we definitely wanted to keep them close to one.
Well, you all played extremely well. Many congratulations to you all.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Canada, they are world champions. Sweden will have to settle with the silver medal. China gets the bronze, putting Norway at 4th place. That concludes the women's competition here at the World Junior Curling Championships, Aberdeen, Scotland.